Hey guys, it's Kay Journey, and I am back today with my new R&D Commonplace notebook setup. So first things first, this notebook is a Mosseri notebook. I got it at Barnes & Noble on sale. I was very happy about it. The problem with the Mosseri notebooks is that they have this entire section in the very beginning of them that's got a lot of these really weird headers. I mean, I understand the point of some of the headers, but there's this sectioned off area in the front that has all of these headers that are in red ink, and all the pages are kind of designed for you, and I find that really frustrating, and I didn't want to just rip them out of the notebook. I wanted to come into this notebook with kind of more of a I'm going to use everything that I can instead of ripping things out mentality. So I'm going through and I'm taking this washi and I'm covering up all of the headings that on the pages that I think I can use. And there will be some pages coming up where I'm going to glue them together. And I end up with a very thick, almost like a secondary cover on the inside between my yearly setup pages, which is what these are, and my beginning of July. So I'm kind of okay with it because it works out. But I only know what I'm doing with 2 of these front pages in this setup. So after I get done with the setup and start jumping into this, and this is where I glue those pages together, that is the beginning of the very, very thick secondary cover thing. And it's going to get thicker. I'm going to add more to it. But anyway, I only know what I'm doing with 2 of these beginning pages. I know that I'm doing an index here, and I'm going to be indexing based off of the month, not based off of the page. So if I know what I'm researching in July, I'll just write the title July, and then I'll write below it all of the things that I researched, or any short story ideas, just kind of a little blip, and then move on to the next month. I don't imagine that this notebook is going to require a secondary index spread, but if it does, I've got them because there's so many spreads here that are open. So after this, then it is jumping into the what to research. So I wanted to kind of give myself a place where if I'm randomly scrolling through things and I'm like, oh, that's really cool, I should research that, I can just throw it open to this page, jot down what I want to research, and then move on with my life. So I don't compulsively sit there and go, oh, I should research that right now while it's on my mind. I can just say, hey, I know I've got a note for it. If I decide that I have time, I will, get to these things. So that's kind of what this page is for. And I'm, once again, if you can obviously see, if you've been here before, you'll see that I'm doing basically the exact same kind of setup as I did in my other Mosseri, in my latest YouTube notebook setup. Sorry about the ice machine, where I'm basically I'm doing the micron in a thicker micron, and then I'm going over it with a colored Crayola Super Tip. And I liked it so much in that setup that I decided to bring it over here. Wow, my ice machine is a lot. I'm very, very sorry. Anyway, I decided to bring it over here and use it again. And then when I started this July, I was like, I really want to start with something with a micron that's a little bit smaller and a little bit more refined than the massive one that I was using for the other pages. But I did want to continue with this color because I think it goes well. I thought it went really well with the paper next to it. But once I had kind of quote unquote finish this page, I realized I really kind of hated it. It was too blank. It was too boring. That big old just empty blue spot over there, I was like, oh, I could put my key there, or I could do, I don't know. And then I was just like, you know what? I have scrapbooking paper. So it doesn't match completely. So I ended up having to add another washi tape color to July, which is fine. I don't mind at all. And here I'm adding yet more paper to that center page. And it's going to be fine. It actually works out when I flip the notebook open. That's where it opens too. I have to actually go hunting for those beginning pages, and that kind of makes me happy in a weird way. So on that July cover page, I had a heading that said main focus and then other topics and notes. But here I'm getting into the actual journaling part of it that was missing from my previous notebook. And what I'm doing is the first big open page that I've got there is what could I be researching right now to become who I want to be and create the life I want. And then on the second page, I'm kind of refining it and I'm saying which of these is the most useful right now, which will I regret not focusing on in 6 months, and what am I choosing to do and why. And I'm kind of giving myself just a place to kind of get out some of my feelings and thoughts and goals and things in an easier way that's not in the middle of a bunch of research. And then after this, I will, be jumping into research pages, and I'll be throwing in, random notes and random story ideas. I've got sticky notes on my wall of a bunch of like random story ideas that have nothing to do with any of the projects that I'm on, that I really want a place to like put. Those are going in here. I'm really excited about having a place where I can just basically brain dump and research. And that's all it is. It's just brain dumping and research. There's no planning in here. There's no what are my projects? Like it's no major breakdowns. It's just research and brain dump. And that makes me very, very happy. And it's nice to be back to doing something kind of scrapbooky and like with washi tape and all that stuff. Like I don't usually play with this stuff anymore, just because I got really into, a mentality of simplicity, and this is definitely more maximalist. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will be back in a couple of days.